Hello everyone, welcome back to Season 8, Week 2 recap. We are here on experimentation, trying to make any amount of money to get back to our studio. This was your idea, so how do you feel like it's going so far?
Well, I mean, we have two pieces of scrap. You found your beehive, so that's lucrative. We found this air horn, which is at the very least fun, and we're gonna see what we can get for that.
So we might get $100 of the, I think like 3K rent or something, I don't remember.
Well, yeah, we have a couple more days before we get like airlocked or something.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
I mean, anyway, well, for TDD, I guess on topic, this week we have what, 4 matches for you.
Yeah.
Great.
2 from
Yeah,
Quick Ball, 1 timer, and we're covering our first friend ball match of this season.
Nice.
Just as a reminder, friend ball matches don't count for anything other than glory and an award at the end of the season for, you know, doing something silly.
Yeah, just a little bit of a break for everyone who's stressed out, prepping for a tough opponent every week, and an excuse to bring something goofier with the Pokemon that you drafted. So we're looking forward to showing that one off.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll leave that one for the end of the video. For now, let's get into our first game.
Sure, let's go.
So we've got our first game here. This is PokéParty versus the Qrillionaires. Rain versus kind of a mixed speed team here. First impressions on this team, what do you see from Plastic here?
This is our first official Plastic match. I guess we should note that. Like his
Yeah,
week one was a friend ball match. So this is our first look at a real Plastic attempt. And I think this is also notably like one of his first actual draft league games. Like he hasn't had any experience with draft leagues prior to this, so he's our brand new player, and we're excited to see his growth. So that being said, like we have, what do we have here? We have the Cresselia, we have the Latios, Mega Latios, and then we're missing an A tier, right?
Yeah, we are missing.
Oh, it's just out of order.
Classic. I think out of the top 6, we're missing Porygon 2 and Gliscor. Which Gliscor makes sense. I mean, it's just going to fall over. Porygon 2 could have come. I don't think it was necessary. Getting subbed out for Slaking this game.
Yeah, I mean, so I was going to say that Porygon 2 is like not loving Urshifu on the other side of the field, but he brought the normal type anyway in Slaking. So I'm not sure what the plan is there. I mean, Slaking's kind of an interesting Pokemon in general. Like, you don't usually bring Slaking. You don't just slot it in. Like, you have a game plan to how to work around Truant, and you do that. So maybe we'll see something here with that. But yeah, in general, like just typing wise, and I don't know what it does over Porygon.
Yeah.
I think that the Durant, the other C tier that was benched, probably would have been good here. We saw this last week, like week 1, with MathGeek's match against Amaryllis, who has Megastazor. Yeah. So despite the fact that MathGeek's team generally resists Steel, it also like has no Fire type and no strong way to handle Fire types. So having something that's like Durant in Rain, it just seems like generally a very solid, safe bring.
Yeah,
so I think that's
sure.
my only note really.
Yeah.
But overall, pretty good slots.
Yeah, I think team has a lot of answers to water. The Latios resist, the Ogre-Pon immunity, the Storm Drain, so a lot of options to help with this Rain team. On Math's side, Smeargle has subbed in for Bisharp. I'm seeing 2 Psychic types here. One
and no Dark resists on anywhere on
the top
Classics team.
Yeah.
No, anywhere.
Oh, true.
There are no Dark resists.
Wow.
Yeah, where is Bisharp?
He's on vacation. He took the week off, I guess.
I'm emotionally charged on this because I talked Math into taking Bisharp. So, brother, where is he? What did you do? This is the team to bring it into. This is like, aside from like a Psychic Terrain team, this is the team to bring it into. Anyway,
yeah,
so I don't like that it's not here. Yeah, and it hits Cradily. The only thing on Plastic's team that
deals with it.
It's
Talonflame
really
hits it, but there's Rain, and then like Aura Sphere coverage on Latios. So,
Yeah. But that's not unique to Bisharp. Like,
Mm-mm.
Aura Sphere it's 80 base power. You can run Chopal, you can run EVO Light, probably lets you live that, and then meanwhile you're just killing it with like a throat chopper, like even a sucker punch.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's like a reason. And then to bring it like, if you're bringing Bisharp, who do you drop from this team? Like I don't know. Do you drop Urshifu? Because like Plastic has so many answers to Urshifu between the Psychic types and the 2 water immunities. Like
Yeah, I mean, the Urshifu is nice because it hits
and Talonflame.
It hits the normals and it hits Cradily, but just dealing with Prankster Bravebird is annoying, and both A tier or the SA of double Psychic is tough. Urshifu could have stayed behind this game, honestly, so you could have, but Urshifu's just kind of that guy, so like I don't think it's a terrible bring. You just have to be careful with the 1 million water resists.
Well, for what it's worth, I like the Zapdos.
Mhm.
Smeargle is always I don't know. Smeargle will do something, I guess.
That's Smeargle for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Pelipper's good.
ahead.
Yeah. Let's just send it.
Yeah, fuck. Am I allowed to say that? Don't worry about it.
Yeah. He can't stop us.
He can't stop us now. Okay. We get Smeargle in the lead next to Urshifu with 2 of our birds. One of our birds does not want to be here, which was the correct choice because it was going to eat a Fake Out.
Yep. Keeping that Gale Wings intact is really nice.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh, what a switch!
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you would have, if you tried to protect there, Urshifu would have gone through with Unseen Fist. So, very good switch. Gets the +1 special attack. Hanging on with the Sash there is really helpful to preserve Fake Out for later in the game.
And we do see the Aura Sphere, by the way, so that did come.
For sure. Energy Ball doing so much to this Pelipper. If it goes down, you're kind of losing rain for the rest of the game. Hurricane does a good chunk to Latios, and oh, there goes Luster Purge.
Luster Purge got a new animation. I think that used to look like Aura Sphere almost.
And we have a Meteor Beam +1 Cradily into the Zapdos. Goodbye.
Yep.
That's just such a fun tech. I love Meteor Beam Power Herb. Very excited.
That Hurricane went into the Latios. Do you think that was just like a lack of respect towards Cradily being already at +1?
That could potentially be trying to set up for Urshifu later. If that thing goes down, Urshifu is a lot better off in the later game.
That's true. I wonder if it was maybe a concern about Thunderbolt as well. Like Latios can easily run that, and Pelipper would die. But
that's true.
Yeah.
It could be a couple things. I'm gonna start us back up. We get the Fake Out back into Cradily. Ice Punch finishes off Latios. Cradily still chilling at +2 full HP here. And the Crest comes out.
This Swampert's got to protect or leave, right? Oh, we Snatch.
It can just attack. It's faster. It's 4 times speed.
Okay. I underestimated Swampert despite having used it in my life.
That's okay.
But yeah, what is the Snatch? What's that?
I mean, you're not going to snatch Lunar Blessing or whatever it's called because your Swampert's full HP. And I don't think snatching Trick Room does anything.
Not only is the Swampert full HP, but like both of Plastic's Pokemon were full HP.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what you're snatching there because otherwise, like, it could click like, Helping Hand or like Icy Wind or something, but those aren't really like things you snatch or things you could physically snatch. So I'm a bit
some engagement in the comment section. What the heck were you snatching?
he wants the extra comments. Gotta get this to blow up on the algorithm.
Comments. If you reply in DMs, I'm not reading it.
Ogerpon comes back out. Ogerpon also comes out.
Ogerpon.
There's so many Ogerpons. Power Whip misses. 15%.
Power Whip does miss. I didn't see the pace, but is this thing carrying Horn Leech, or is that the only grass move that is carrying?
I think that was the only one.
Okay.
Follow me to take the Psychic for Urshifu here, so that Urshifu can actually survives the Power Whip. So that Urshifu can Surging Strikes into the Water Absorb.
That's a great way to use Follow Me, buying that turn.
I think Math mentions here on the right that M-Body Aspect was on the calc, though I'm not sure, even if you ignore the Water Absorb, I feel like
still a 4x resist.
It's going to do 15%, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how How much would it even do to Cresselia if you targeted the other slot or something?
Probably not too much. Like I said when we started the match, I don't think Urshifu does much this week. I would not have brought it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that the 4x weak, or sorry, 4x resisted Surging Strikes would have done any better. And I mean, Urshifu's can just close combat it too.
Yeah,
So
I mean, close combat is stronger even just at neutral, you know, than Surging Strikes.
is it really?
I mean, close combat's 120, Surging Strikes is a bit over 100, but it's not 120.
Interesting.
So
I kind
close
of just
combat,
always figured with the crits it would be higher, but I didn't actually ever do the math.
nah, it just helps with like Intimidate and getting around Intimidate and stuff, but technically close combat is stronger in a pinch.
Well, yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway,
Spiky Shield. Just as a reminder for all our Ogerpon players at home, we saw a couple Ogerpon protects this week. Spiky Shield is a straight upgrade, so if you are an Ogerpon player and you want to be running a protection move, definitely pick up Spiky Shield. There is no downside.
yeah, we saw multiple of those, and I'm not going to name names, but there are only 4 people, so you can
There's
guess.
only 4 of them. Who could
Guess,
it be?
guess in the chat. Engagement.
You put in the comments if you run Protect on your Ogerpon for Imprison strats.
Anyway, power up again would have definitely killed the Swampert, but the Protect comes out, and Urshifu is right out here to...
Yeah, the problem is it's just forced out, and it's like, now what do? You probably are forced to close combat there. I think close combat into Ice Punch probably kills.
I just assumed it was targeting the Cresselia. There's no way that he'd click that again, knowing what happened the last time.
Oh yeah, probably.
And
Oh,
Cresselia
yeah,
is absolutely the better. Like, you do have to kill Cresselia here, else
Another
Cresselia just wins this.
power whip miss. But yeah, no, you're right. Even then, I mean, it's gonna do not
we get
even
to see
half.
here. Yeah, 48%.
So that's tough.
With leftovers, that's like, yeah, that's just nothing.
Yeah. The other thing is, this Urshifu is, I believe, scarfed. So, which we saw from, speed order earlier, which is, I feel like, a little tough to run Scarf when there's so many water resists. When you want to be clicking Surging Strike, you need to be able to swap to close combat. So I feel like the Scarf is a little bit risky.
What are you outspeeding too with the Scarf? Latios?
Yeah. Latios, Talonflame after you chip it. That's about it. Lunar Blessing here. Trick Room goes down. We didn't really talk about it, but really nice use of mid-game Trick Room. I think Trick Room tends to get clicked very often at the start of the game.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to see just the later game Cresselia come out, reverse the speed order.
I also lost to mid-game Trick Room this week, so that's fair.
That's okay. That's how it goes. This week is in week 2.
Yeah, we're in week 2, buddy.
We're definitely in week... Okay, listen, we had our week 3 game already.
I already played my week 3 game.
Yeah.
Anyway, so...
Go ahead.
Yeah, just good match. I think really, really nice play from Plastic. And again, let's all just appreciate this is his first match. So I want a nice round of applause for Plastic here.
Put it in the
Taking a win
comments for
on this-
engagement.
Yeah. Engagement, yeah, please just drop it in the comments. Congrats, GG's. But yeah, I think like having multiple speed controls, having just general knowledge of Pokemon abilities, like we saw early on, switching out in front of the Unseen Fist because you can't protect. I don't actually know if this Talonflame's carrying protect, but I felt like in general he just preserved good win cons. He switched in immunities at the right spot. Like these are some good instincts, and it was really nice to see them coming out from a new player.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't have anything else on that. I love seeing both Talonflame for speed control and Trick Room on the same team. I think it's really interesting to have access to both modes because it keeps your Trick Room much more unpredictable, and it's a lot harder to deal with it. Obviously, less so in the case for someone like Math, who's, gonna click Rain, gonna click Tailwind, and then run you down. But the extra flexibility is really appreciated, and I mean, it's definitely saved me before, and I imagine it would have been helpful in this game if you needed Tailwind at some point. But close it out without it. I think that's it for this game.
Yeah, good games. Good game.
Yeah, for sure. All right, for game 2, we have Sucrêve versus Bird Watchers. Amaryllis versus OJ. OJ just coming off of a 5K with the Salamence that's also here today. Drops 2 Mons, double Psychic for the C tiers. How do you think about that? I think it makes sense.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, looking at the top
The
three
top
on
two,
Amaryllis,
or yeah, top three
top
actually.
three. I mean, counting bug type, like Psychic does not want to be staring across from any of these things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Chestnut makes a lot of sense here. It threatens Darkrai. It's just bulky. It gets access to Wide Guard, which does work on status moves like Dark Void, I believe.
It should.
It should.
Yeah, I think it's physically defensive too, which is good into, well, I won't say all Dragapult sets, but the other thing that's nice is that it gets bulletproof, so if it's a special set, it's immune to Shadow Ball.
Oh, that's true, actually. I didn't even think about that.
So yeah, I think Chestnut is a very decent answer into a good bit of Dragapult sets. I mean, I guess it could get Acrobatics. I don't know if Dragapult gets that.
It probably gets flying coverage or something.
But definitely, Scizor definitely does. But in general, just having like a good physical answer to Dragapult Scizor is nice. Entei's physical, but I don't think that Chestnut wants to eat a Sacred Fire anyway.
That's what Swampert's for.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Swampert's fine here. If you gotta sub something in, Swampert's a super consistent Pokemon, so like I respect it.
Very good C tier. Yeah.
On the other side, Amaryllis just swapping out Sableye for Alchemy. To me, Alchemy feels a lot more of like an aggressive option. You know, Sableye likes to like fake out and, you know, burn things, set screens, and then Alchemy just clicks Decorate on its partner and, you know, they blow you up. So it feels like a lot more of like an aggressive, if you have the tempo, set up the Decorate and run away with the game type thing. So I think it makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah, I mean, there's the other angle of like you are looking at the current season MVP that clicked Outrage, like who knows how many times the previous match. So having a fairy type in general is a good shout. Also,
If it targets into you.
yeah, I mean, but it's got to eventually to win the game, and you know. So,
You're right.
but yeah, the Sableye would have been like, I think Will-O-Wisp goes pretty hard into OJ's team. He does not have a lot of special offense, especially when he left the Espathra and Crown on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you know that going ahead of time that that's going to be left on the bench, but looking at the 6 we have here, I mean, every single one of these Pokemon is afraid of getting burned.
Yeah.
Maybe not Swampert. I don't know the Swampert set, but everything else is physical.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
Vents can be
hard. The Entei can still do the burn, obviously on the if you
Yeah.
gamble. So it's a little tough there, but you just have to be careful of the burn there for sure.
And if you're benching or banking on the Darkrai, Dark Void stuff, which I think is what Amaryllis is hoping for here, you don't want to put all your eggs in the status basket. If like a Misty Terrain or something like that is set up, then
Or
suddenly,
even just like if you
all
burn
your
something, you
options-
can't sleep it.
Oh, true. That's true. Yeah. So you know that's fair. I really do support the Alchemy bring here.
I agree.
Iron Leaves is here to do who knows
Iron
what.
Leaf
Like
Sync.
it's
This Pokemon is so sick.
I'm gonna take a sec to like just clap. This is my clap. Ready? Can you hear this?
Yeah, it came through poorly.
Poorly. Well, I clapped. The early season wild card for me, really, like putting a name out is
Okay.
Iron Leaves.
I respect that.
Because maybe it's just me. I just didn't think this Pokemon could do anything, and you know, it's out here.
Yeah. No, I was talking to Ven after the, I think the Leaves pick, and I was just in my head, I was like, I know this Pokemon can do some very funny things if she drafted it for that. And Ven's like, yeah, that's absolutely the goal. I'm like, I'm so excited to see Leaves pop off inexplicably. So, very cool.
It's funny.
We'll see
It's
some
the
stuff
same
from it.
thing that the VGC kind of saw for a bit there with Iron Valiant, where like Iron Valiant, people just decided like all of a sudden that this thing has the dumbest supporting move pool, and that's all it's supposed to do, you know.
Yeah.
So very fun. Like I'm happy to see the future Paradoxes do something, because last season like we had to watch the past Paradoxes get the top 3 slots in the win board or the MVP board. Meanwhile, like Iron Blunder is out there getting flop.
Well, we didn't have to watch. I think we were active participants in that one.
Who's to say? Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start the game.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, here's the Leaves. One downside of Leaves, or one of the benefits of it, is that it is incredibly fast without having to rely on priority like Prankster for its funny tricks. But if you switch it out, you're gonna lose the booster energy, and that goes out the window. But it
Yeah.
doesn't have to switch out here. It just blocks the fake out with the quick guard, which is really nice. Sludge Bomb
That's also
immediately comes
nice
in to blow this thing up.
poison.
What's up?
That's a lucky poison. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that is
not
a
like
nice
the
poison.
smallest chance, but that's very impactful, is what I meant to say. You know.
For sure.
And Tailwind comes out from Salamence, doing something that's not outrage. Good for it.
And it's protecting.
Yeah.
Light Screen
Um,
comes out to help against Darkrai,
I
primarily.
think that's not bad. Like getting Light Screen out to then die to poison. You have Tailwind
No, it's
up, you're
fine.
bringing in a free slot. I like that.
Yeah.
We see more switching.
Ivy Cudgel does
so
64.
much. Oh, that Scizor just ate everything. Poor guy.
Yeah. Good coverage
The
on that.
Encore, honestly, not the worst thing to get Encored into. It does
Yeah.
mean that you're like safely not seeing Follow Me from that, or Spiky Shield. So like, it's nice to see like something and know what it's gonna click. But you know, as far as the Encore, like that's a good.
Does 60 until leaves.
It's just continuing to do a lot.
The Protect on Salamence there is a little tough because that's your last turn of Tailwind, and I feel like spending your last turn protecting instead of getting some value out of it now is a little tough.
Is there any
Really
shot that
nice.
the Dragapult was faster? Is
Yeah.
that what we were worried about?
I don't know.
Even in Tailwind? I mean, I would like to think that Mence can outspeed in Tailwind. Maybe it's
should.
just scouting, but
Also, quick shoutouts to the Kasib Berry, I think it's called, on Salamence to survive Dragon Darts only if both of your Pokemon get targeted. That's crazy. I didn't
it was
even
a
realize that.
Bondberry, but yeah.
Oh, Habonberry. Sorry, I don't. Kasib is
Kasib is
Ghost or
Ghost.
something. Oh yeah. That's really cool. So shout out to that for sure.
We see Gravity here. That's actually the first time we saw Gravity. At the time, we have seen it since. So
Yep.
this might be a recurring thing.
Yep. So for anyone unaware, Gravity both makes flying Pokemon grounded and also boosts the accuracy of moves considerably. So Dark Void suddenly can actually connect sometimes, usually.
Is it 100% after that or not?
It's not, but it's high.
Okay, it might be like 90s or something like that. Because it's
Yeah.
only 60%.
Yeah. Chestnut coming out here. Body Press not going to KO thanks to the coaching boost. Insane. And Darkrai is just going to swap out here as Entei comes in, gets the coaching boost. OJ doubles into the slot. I maybe fearing a Dark Void and just hoping something breaks through here. But I feel like in this position, you're kind of behind. And at some point, you kind of just be like, well, let's get
I'm surprised that
5
the Darkrai
Rage
did
Fist stacks.
switch. Because it had the speed control, right?
It was holding
It was
Life
faster.
Orb, so I guess if you attacked, you would have died. So you could have just gone
Dark
for
Void
the Dark Void.
Doesn't.
Yeah,
I would
actually,
expect the Dark
maybe
Void.
afraid of Wide Guard on Chestnut.
True. That's true.
So the switch there kind of makes sense. The double up is like if you're trying to hope that something doesn't get put to sleep. Because it turns out this Chestnut is not running Wide Guard. So, I mean, obviously would have been helpful in the matchup. Not on that turn specifically, but, you know, just kind of how things pan out.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess week 1 Amaryllis did lose to Wide Guard.
That's true, yeah.
On Pelipper, so yeah, I bet that was kind of fresh on her mind. Anyway, though, the Entei is scary. The Swampert comes in trying to do his job and gets instantly burned.
Yep. Plus,
Rage Fist is unboosted, so
it's
nothing.
boosted a little bit. It's like 100,
it's still
150 base
doing
power,
nothing.
but yeah. The
And then-
Trailblaze Entei, my dude is stacking up statuses, and he lives
There's
that
a
one
scary number of Pokemon that get Trailblaze now.
Yeah, it's funny. I like
It is
Trailblaze.
it's a good move. I think I've run it a couple times. Scizor getting it is kind of fun. Honestly, I like that a lot.
For sure.
Like it's not like it needs the grass coverage, but it's technician boosted and it gets the speed boost.
Yeah.
So you don't have to rely on Bullet Punch.
Oh, for sure. It's a fun move. But yeah, game
Entei
just
cleans
gets...
up.
Yeah, Entei cleans up with, like, I don't even know how many stages. 4, 6,
That
like
thing could
7
use
stat
Sword Power
boosts.
effectively right now.
Like, off of, like, 85 special attack and no stab my goat.
Yeah. Where do you think it all went wrong for OJ?
I feel like, I mean, there were some times where, you know, once you got the Tailwind up, you could have taken better initiative of that. To me, when your team struggles a lot against Sacred Fire Jump Scare Burn and the terrain, I feel like losing Grimmsnarl so early is a problem, because that thing could have clicked like Misty Terrain, and then suddenly you have like some insurance against that. Misty Terrain doesn't wake things up if they're already put to sleep, but if Gravity goes up, you could just Misty Terrain and shut that strat down for like 4 turns, you know?
Yeah, I
I think
hard
Grimmsnarl
agree.
going down was a problem, but that was just kind of like a good quick guard that, kind of killed it.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was definitely good. In general, I think that like OJ didn't seem to have very many answers to status, and Amaryllis's team, while it probably has other variants, is obviously like a primary variant of this team is to put things to sleep,
Hmm.
burn physical. Like Entei can. Entei is one of those Pokemon that's like it doesn't even have to try to burn you; it's just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Um, you also have I guess that's probably the only real statuses. As far as like other answers and maybe this sort of general advice, um, like if you have something that can strong threaten Darkrai, but maybe is slower, you can run like a Chesto Berry or something. But yeah, in general, like I think Electric Terrain is kind of a nice answer. Misty Terrain, like it's not going to wake up Pokemon that are already asleep like Electric Terrain will, but it prevents it, and it also covers for the burn issue. And I think OJ would particularly benefit from that into Pokemon that are going to burn it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hindsight though.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. That's how you keep an eye out. I think in general, it's been a little bit hard for OJ to get value out of this Annihilate Pier. And I think part of that is just, it's been hard to get it set up with the, because we saw Pin Missile.
Have you seen it run bulk up at all? Like, I think that people might be afraid to do that, given that it's like, ooh, that's the one trick it knows. Like, I don't want to play into the expectations, but I mean, it's a good trick.
It might have run it week 1. I don't remember.
Okay.
But
it's
counterpoint, it's a very good trick, IMO.
The other thing, it's like, I mean, Rage Fist is probably single-handedly the reason that that thing is S tier.
Yeah.
But, I mean, part of the reason why it was very scary and unkillable was just bulk up Drain Punch, and the fact that people are afraid to hit it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, worst case, it can always Scarf Final Gambit itself and take a good trade. So I think there's ways to get value on it. I think it's just about finding opportunities, and OJ's Grant draft doesn't lend itself perfectly to doing, 5 stacks of Rage Fist instantly, but still, I think there's ways to get it going. So I think just building a little bit more of a game plan around the Ape in the future is probably going to be helpful.
Yep. Well, that was a good match.
For sure.
I think it was closer than it looks on the page here. Like, you can
yeah,
see how low
I mean,
Entei
like,
is.
the Darkrai is almost dead, the Entei's almost dead, and these two don't have a ton of damage. So, deceptively close game. But yeah, I think that's it for this game then. On to the next one?
Yeah, we can move on.
Cool. Alright, so we've got game 3 here. This is Sword Dad Show versus Ancient Suns. We've got Sun Team and Techno being forced to bring Aegislash into a team with Mega Charizard Y and Great Tusk on it.
So, I brought my Steel Ghost to the Peanut this morning.
Okay.
It did work.
I'm sure Aegislash will also do work this game, so I guess you're right about that. It just has to click me. You're right.
Sorry, I'm spoiling week 3.
We'll get there. I don't know if we're covering that game.
I don't know if we will. Anyway, yeah, but for this game, for week 2 game, yeah, we've got Peanut Standard Sun. He is dropping Serena for Lilligant. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I think
they're like kind of
in
interchangeable.
General, yeah, 2 very good monograsses on the Sun team. And then Techno just doesn't have a lot of priority, so there's not too much of a reason for the Queenly Majesty. What about Aerodactyls coming over? What else? Magnezone?
Magnezone.
Yeah. I think Magnezone could have done okay. I mean, it nukes Suicune, but loses really hard to Garchomp.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it could have gone either way, but I think Magnezone could have been nice here, especially if you do anticipate the Togetic or the Comfey. Comfey's not here, but having just the Stab Flash Cannon is nice. It's strong. If you are running any form of speed control or anything, it can pop off. Even without it, it's still good. So it could have
At
come.
least
It's not
Aerodactyl
necessary.
does handle Togetic pretty well, and it also is like it's a secondary source of speed control.
True.
I think there's a very few Pokemon on Peanut's team that I mean, I guess if you consider the sun setting part of it, that's good. But like for Tailwind, it's just Tusk. I mean, maybe Tusk and Charizard that really
Yeah.
want the Tailwind. But as long as Sun is up, Lilligant doesn't need it. The right
Walking
Tusk
Wake
set
doesn't.
doesn't need it. Walking Wake doesn't need it. Clefairy doesn't care at all
Yeah.
about speed control. So yeah, but I mean, fast sunny day user, if it's doing that, that's a good use for Aerodactyl here. And rock type, flying type isn't bad either. Like Technovoid is missing, like you said, the Comfey, the Tauros.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it either. I get it. I mean, I don't think it clicks Sunny Day this game. In part, maybe it's didn't have the chance to, but I think fast backup Sun would have been helpful from it for sure. You wanted to talk about Orthworm.
Yeah, dude, where's Orthworm? Orthworm
The
would
same
go
place
so
it was in
hard
Season
here.
7.
I mean, yeah, sympathy, because yeah, Orthworm is like, wow, look at my steel type that can eat ground moves. It's so physically defensive and tanky, but then like you run a calc where it's like, oh, it gets 2-tapped by Giga Drain? What? But anyway, I mean, aside from that, like the only Pokemon that I think it hard loses to on Techno's roster, especially the high tiers, is Suicune. Because you have a lot of physical Pokemon. I guess Aegislash being special, flexible is threatening as well. But I mean, Meowscarada is always physical and doesn't really get too much to hit it that I know of. Comfey just gets killed instantly by a Heavy Slam. Tauros, yeah, Tauros isn't great actually, but it's physical. Garchomp gets completely walled by Orthworm. Togetic also gets hit by the Heavy Slam. I don't know. It's not like a perfect answer, but it could have been good here. Could have had some time to shine.
My counter argument is that Techno in particular has a mixed attacker addiction. He cannot stop himself from making everything mixed attackers. So
Like
I think
in one game.
I'm just telling you, he loves his mixed attackers. So I would not be surprised if every single Pokemon on this team was mixed. I don't think they are, but I think he just has random mixed coverage because he likes his mixed attackers, which I respect. So even worse news for Orthworm with 70-55 HP Spit F.
Yeah, I don't even think AV Orthworm loses to special
Yeah.
Meowscarada.
That's okay. I think that's it on teams, though.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get started here. Let's slow things down. We see the Garchomp unmega'd, soon to be Mega. Same with the Charizard in the lead again.
Well, not so soon for the Garchomp. It's actually gonna sit here and not Mega.
That's true, actually. We're gonna protect. This is, once again, the eternal problem with Charizard Y, is you kind of feel forced to protect or switch, or usually protect because you have to spend the turn to stay in Mega to get the sun up, and then you're just kind of scared of eating a singular Rock Slide that everyone likes to lead with.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
Throwing this out there, you do not have to lead Charizard if you bring Sunny Day Aerodactyl.
That's true. It also loses to Rock Slide, but that's okay.
Well, it doesn't die
Unmega-
to it. It can
yeah.
live.
Unmega Garchomp there for a bit to keep the higher base speed. I think it's 10 points higher, so that is pretty nice.
Such a weird interaction. I didn't remember that at all, so I just thought he forgot to Mega mid-match, and then he told me afterwards that he's just smarter than me, which is true.
No, that's big. Aegislash dodging the Icy Wind after switching in and losing its air balloon. And it immediately has to leave as a result into the ground immunity.
Kind of funny.
Goodbye, Aegislash, my goat.
Into the real ground immunity. Heavy Slam, we're living.
Doesn't pick up the KO. And very nice Tailwind off of that survival. So now Techno's just got nice control of this game for a while. Not going to be faster than the Walking Wake in the Sun. But
I think that's fine. Like the follow me brings out that attack.
For sure.
That is a AV Tusk for sure. There's no way that lives otherwise.
Yeah, no, this thing has like 140 special attack. Absolutely not. Heavy Slam went in, I guess, in case of a kill. Into the... I mean, actually, could you have just killed Vikavolt there with Great Tusk or something? Do you have a move to hit it?
It doesn't really. I mean, Bug resists fighting and it's immune to ground, so if you're not running like... What could it possibly run? Like a rock move, I guess?
Yeah, I guess
Stone Edge.
I guess it didn't have a good way to hit Vikavolt there. Okay, fair
Tusk
enough.
is one of those Pokemon where like it's definitely running both of its stabs every week, and if you're AV, probably something like maybe Iron Head. Like it gets like one coverage slot if you ask me, because it's gonna want to run Rapid Spin, double stab, and then one coverage. So you just, while it gets actually some pretty decent coverage, like it doesn't have the move slots for it.
Right. Okay. I wasn't sure if it had a move, but I forgo her.
Tailwind is up though, and so yeah, the Garchomp can finally click Mega for like the first time in TDD history.
Yep. Nice block on the Dragon Claw there. Flamethrower going to take out the Vikavolt as Tailwind expires. Suicune's back, or Suicune's in. Suicune hasn't been in yet. Here comes the sun.
Yeah, I mean, it has been in the ancient form, Walking Wake.
You're right.
But yeah, no, it's here.
They've met. I didn't even think about that.
We are now slower than the Walking Wake, so we have to protect and set the Tailwind back up. This is really nice speed control from Techno. He is like just positioning around the deficit in speed very well, and now Garchomp is once again king of the battlefield right now. Very fast, very threatening.
Nice. That was a good switch into the Clefairy to get to eat another Dragon Claw. Nice Weather Ball tech, by the way.
That red card is actually kind of devastating because with the last turn of Tailwind up, like you kind of want to have Garchomp still there, especially with the double down. But now like Aegis lashes out.
No, he's gonna pop off. You don't understand. Aegis
Not
Slash
exactly
and
my
Tailwind is
ideal
gonna be
Garchomp
insane.
replacement. Yeah, it's sitting here in front of the two Pokemon that are clicking fire moves in the sun. Like it didn't ask to be here. It got dragged to this match and then to this slot by the red card.
This poor guy.
Yeah, he wants to go home.
He wanted to sit. Wanted to sit on the bench.
Bring him
Please just
home.
win the 5v6. Well, it's okay. Aegis Slash is gonna pop off here as Meowscarada comes in. It's gonna keep itself safe. With the King's Shield.
Poor
Meowscarada's gonna explode.
Yeah, that maybe just accepting the sack, praying for Heat Wave miss if it happens, but
yeah.
Basically just stalling on the last turn of Tailwind so that the ooh, no protect there from the. I wonder if that was just reading the switch. I didn't notice that in mid-match. Like,
protects from what?
If Garchomp could have protected here, assumedly to like.
It swapped in.
Oh, it swapped in. Okay. No, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
We had to save the Aegis Slash for later in the game when it will certainly do something.
In my head, Aegis Slash is dead at this point, and it's like.
No, we have it in the back. Don't you worry about it.
Anyway, I might have stacked the Aegis Slash. I don't know what it's doing. But yeah, so Garchomp's in. It's lost some health, but now Tailwind is back in its favor.
Yeah. So Peanut double protect to stall out the Tailwind. Great Tusk comes in as a sack, which makes some sense here.
I think it's a very good sack. Icy Wind or Ice Beam showing it just doesn't really do much to the Charizard. That is an insane live thanks to Sun being down.
Yeah, for sure. Last turn
do
of
you sack the Charizard, or I'm sorry, not the Charizard, the Tusk for the Charizard slot instead, or maybe you sack something else to like get Sun back?
Let's see. I mean, you mean in that slot, just bring the Tusk in here, to give you a free switch?
Maybe there's a role where that OP doesn't need the Sun, but
yeah. I mean, I don't know. There was probably a chance depending on some things like bulk or investments. Here, Walking Wake comes back in to protect on the last turn of Tailwind. Rock Slide comes out. I feel like you could have just sacked Aerodactyl here.
That turn for sure, yeah. Get the Charizard out of there because if you sack Aerodactyl there, then not only does Sun go back up for the Zard, but also you're getting Sun for the Walking Wake, and there's only one turn of speed for the Tailwind left.
I think part of the problem is that there's no good way through Suicune here because this is not a Solar Beam Charizard. So even if you get the Sun back up, you can't really hit Suicune. But I mean, you should live an Ice Beam.
Yeah, it's mostly on the Walking Wake to kill Suicune at this point.
Yeah, which should be doable. I mean, it hasn't set up a Calm Mind or anything, so... yeah, I think you could have sacked Aerodactyl there just to reset tempo, get the sun back up, etc. But last turn of Tailwind has expired. Aerodactyl's going to come in as Garchomp protects. We're going to get the taunt off, which is really nice tech here, just to block this Tailwind.
I mean, that could have been really what the refusal to sack the Aerodactyl was about, knowing that like that Tailwind play without Solar Beam was hard to deny with Charizard.
Yeah, but because this this Aerodactyl can't set the sun itself, it's still a little tough for Hydro Seam to get the damage. Rock Slide miss, you know.
I don't know.
That's how it goes. I don't think it had a better button to click.
Suicune here.
I agree.
Maybe it doesn't want a Draco if there's a Draco on the field, because you know you're -2 for the rest of the game at that point. And you're just playing for dip at that, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Aegislash, my goat, takes a flamethrower and goes down like an absolute champion after clicking King's Shield 3 times and
I think the Suicune could have endgamed without the Garchomp.
Probably.
Know, but I thought that was a really good way to stall out the taunt from Techno.
For sure.
Because taunts last about 2 turns, and then so you know that you can switch out the 2% health. There was a surprise Co appearance. He said 2% lacking toes. And I thought he meant lactose, like milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw that again today.
Okay.
Watching this.
Yeah. I mean,
I
good.
got sidetracked.
Good work preserving the diff there on the last point for sure. I mean, easily could have just been a 1-0, but just the good switches. And, you know, for as much as I hate Aegislash, it did certainly switch in to keep Garchomp alive a couple times. So, you know, good stalling out turns.
It can switch out and switch in as a very bulky Pokemon, which is
that is
other
true.
Pokemon can't do. So
that is a trick that it has.
But yeah, even if it's not just diff, like do we see all 4 moves from the Wake?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know the calcs off the top of my head, but it's possible that Techno just was like, there's a shot that double Draco, maybe the second one crits or something, kills the Suicune.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even say it's like he's playing for diff. He is just playing for the best possible end game, preserving the Garchomp. He did a really, really great job of that, making sure that those 2 turns of taunt could expire while he sacked the Aegislash.
Yep, that makes sense. I didn't even think of. I guess I kind of forgot that you could just simply get crit and lose the game. So yeah, good shout. Yeah, or miss. That would never happen.
Yeah, never.
All right.
Yeah,
I think that's it for
really
this
great
game.
match. This might have been my favorite match of the week. I watched it live and it was just very fun.
No, this was a fun match. I like the part where Aegislash died. All right, friend ball time.
Friend ball time. Let's.
All right, and we're here for our last game this week. This is Friend Ball Platinum Dawn versus Terminal Velocity. Like we said at the start, this doesn't count for anything except for being funny. So
yeah,
the analysis here is going to be a little bit shakier. Big piece of analysis. The bridge is not here. Thank God.
Yeah, our Trilodon's benched on the side of Akurari. What other Ice is benched? Zeraora, okay. We got other electric type. Yeah, I mean, I covered all of the Friend Ball matches last year. I'm very familiar with shenanigans that people are bringing to these, so always looking forward to some more of that. It's funny, like, nothing here besides Claydol really screams, like, why is this here kind of thing. Like, not even just in a matchup, just, like, in general, I'm a Claydol doubter.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything, I mean, these are some good Pokemon on screen. Friend Ballness aside.
These are some good Pokemon on screen. I mean, even then, Claydol's only, like, out of everything we've seen, probably the second worst bring after Aegislash. I'm sorry, I hate him.
This guy hates Aegislash.
I hate Aegislash. Okay, that's the last one for this
heck? Week. I thought we were done with that match.
No, we're never done. It's always about Aegislash.
We're talking about Friend Ball.
Yeah, he's not my friend.
Yeah, so don't talk about him. All right, we gotta keep this going.
Okay.
Friend Ball.
I'm gonna start the game here.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
He's fast as F. I don't know what he meant by F. We will never know.
I really like that. I think it's literally just. I like that only Electabuzz is unnamed here. That's really funny to me.
That is kind of weird.
We have Sides Shadow Sneak to get this Boom Burst Screamtail online. 57% to Electabuzz. As
Yeah,
we miss the Zap Cannon.
Pause here for just a sec. Sec. I wanna shout out both players here. On Ven's side, I forget how this came up. I think it maybe was out after our week 1 match. She said she was, prepping for Friend Ball, and Friend Ball last season for me, Screamtail was kind of fun with the Parish song, War Crime. So I asked Ven if she could just try to carry on the legacy of like Screamtail being a menace in Friend Ball. So I think that was the primary motivator for the set that we are seeing here. That's all. Just appreciative of like the attempt.
Yeah.
And then
also,
on the other side.
Did you mention Zap Cannon Blunder Policy Electabuzz as a form of speed control in the overview as a joke?
I mean, apparently I did it in the overview. I don't remember that, but that whole video was a fever dream. That was very long.
Because he told me that's where he was like, you know what, I'm gonna run it.
Yeah, I asked him about it because I was like, when I was doing my draft, not Zap Cannon, Electabuzz, that's the name.
Yeah.
He was on my radar, not as like a speed control Pokemon, just as like a follow me bot.
Right.
And then I just realized, you know what, like it does get Electro Web, Zap Cannon, and Blunder Policy is funny. So like I had that thought internally, and I guess that came out during the draft recap, and then that became the seed of this wonderful Friend Ball match we have today.
For sure.
So yeah, we're here. It missed, which is good because that means it gets its speed boost. Which,
hit that one.
Yeah, I mean, it gets the para.
And it has to
50%.
leave and lose its speed boost.
Yeah.
Here comes Princess, the Unmega Salamence. And goodbye.
Okay, Moonblast, yeah. Moonblast picking up the kill. I think honestly Store Power not doing a whole lot, and the Intimidate has a lot to do with that.
Intimidating a special attacker, unironically helping here, which is kind of funny.
So dumb. We have another side set up with a weakness policy. Both sides have done this. One of these sides picked a much better Pokemon to do this with. Soundproof. Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Lived on 3.
Yeah, lived on 3. Soundproof. It's just crazy.
Both of our boosted Pokemon protecting. So is Electabuzz. Electrode is just playing a single player game here.
Yeah. The protect from Blaziken makes sense. Electabuzz I don't know, but they're protecting from.
Tank
Electro Ball
Electabuzz.
going into that. Not sure about that, but
it's Follow Me.
Okay, my brain's off. It's like 12:44 in the morning.
We are recording at a normal hour. It's fine.
Yeah.
Electabuzz keeping itself safe so that it can use Zap Cannon again later in the game. Close combat is going to take out the Electrode. This Blaziken is +2, +2, +2.5, lower defense is 3 HP, and still kicking. Somehow.
Yeah, Drill Run goes into that target. So Blaziken gets to live another day, and is definitely going to kill something here, and there it goes.
Goodbye, Kangaskhan.
Yeah, no fake out. And
then Electabuzz one-taps the Moltres.
Holy Christ, there goes
my
Moltres.
goat.
Notable bulky Pokemon. Yeah, Jesus. Alright, well, Follow Me coming out, but does it matter? We'll see.
Yes.
Does it?
No. I lied.
That is a choice band explosion, baby. What does Claydol do? Ven answers. Claydol kills itself.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that was how you get the most diff out of that situation.
Yeah, the imaginary Friend Ball diff. No, but I mean, really funny stuff all around. There's a couple things that we did not get to see that we can see on the paste here, and I think that these players posted theirs, so we're gonna spoil a couple of them.
It's Friend Ball. No one cares.
Yeah, it's Friend Ball. Giga Impact Aerialate Salamence.
Yeah.
Funny.
I tried to run that in Season 6. but I just didn't get the chance to click it. I ran it in a real game, but I didn't get to click it.
Parish Song Primarina,
Hmm.
hilarious. No trapping on this team, so I don't know what
No,
Parish
we have
Song's doing.
Fire Spin Volcanion. You forgot.
Ah,
We have
I missed
trapping.
Fire Spin. Okay,
You
yeah, Fire
missed
Spin
fire.
Volcanion, and yeah, Parish Song, lovely. What else? Honestly, nothing else besides like what we saw that was funny here. The Blaze Against It was just unironically good. Like there was
Yeah,
nothing funny about that.
that wasn't
It
funny. That
just
was just
that
mean.
wasn't that was really mean. Yeah, Kangaskhan comes in, it's not clicking fake out because it's like a friend, you know. Then it just gets punched to death.
The Kangaskhan wanted to. This Kangaskhan is Rock Tomb Icy Wind Helping Hand, by the way, just to clarify. So,
What I
um,
wonder what it clicked there. Probably Rock Tomb, right?
yeah.
But
Who can
why?
say? Uh,
Why not click fake out there? It's like it's one of those things where it's like I think the Blaziken was at 2%, right? So like
yeah. Fake out would have
fake
killed.
out kills
Fake out
and
kill.
Rock Tomb does I mean it kills too, but
Yeah.
it's slow. What else do
I
we see on
Well, I just want to shout this out. So I've seen Akurari just hit like the 252, 252 4 spread like a couple times, throughout this season, last season. These are
Mhm.
some of the most complex spreads I've seen from him. Why did he do this on Friend Ball?
Oh, I mean that's true. He's got like Blaziken's pretty standard because like I said, there's nothing funny about this set.
Yeah.
And then Electabuzz has like
Electabuzz
four.
is invested 28 points in speed. What are you speed creeping?
Wait, Electabuzz is 28 points in Spa as well. Did that matter for the Blaze or for the Moltres kill?
I
There's no
I'm
way,
sorry,
right?
I don't know the 28 special attack Zap Cannon Electabuzz versus Moltres calc off the top of my head. You're gonna have to forgive me for that one.
You didn't do your homework.
That's on me. I'm sorry. I'll get it next
Well,
time.
anyway,
I'll calculate. Someone put it in the comments. I need the engagement.
yeah, please engagement. We need it. It'll help us pay for our studio. Look, I'm bringing it back.
Thank
All right.
you.
Well, I mean, I'm really happy we were able to cover Friend Ball this week. That was a lot of fun.
For sure.
Nothing else to say though.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
zero things.
Yeah,
No
good
notes.
bit. Back we go.
Back we go.
And that's our week 2. I almost said 4.
It could be anything.
It could be anything. But yeah, super sick set of games on the whole. A couple of other cool ones we didn't get to cover. But yeah, really glad we got to cover Friend Ball this week.
Yeah, we won't
Just,
cover it every week, but we'll try to do it as much as we can because it is a lot of fun and it's a good way to end the video.
I think so too. Well, we'll see. Just if you're silly enough, we'll put you in the video. So,
Yeah,
there's
that's
your
true. That's a
incentive.
promise.
I guess that's about it. This moon kind of sucks, I gotta be honest. We found like 2 things here.
Yeah, this is a bad wreck. We probably should pack up our stuff and go. Do you know any other moons that are like, worthwhile to go to for scrap?
This was your idea. I don't.
Okay, well, hear me out. I got this weird signal from Petrichor 5. Do you want to check it out? Maybe there's like scrap there or something like that. I have no idea who sent us this.
Petrichor 5. I'm gonna die in outer space.
Yeah,
Techno's
maybe.
gonna
But
have
I
to
mean,
take back over the league because both of the other hosts died in outer space for an air horn.
well, it's not for an air horn. The end game here is studio equipment. Our stuff's scuffed, dude. This video sucks.
This video sucks. That's okay. Sure, man. You know what? If you want to go to Petrichor 5, I'll follow you there. It'll be fine.
Okay,
It'll be great.
I'm booting up.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you all from Petrichor 5, wherever that is. I've been Juice.
Yeah, and I've been Diggory. All right, we'll catch y'all next week.
See ya.